I recently discovered a video from a YouTuber called Top Hats and Champagne. Fortunately, he decided to share some very important information with all of us. Apparently, the skeptic community on YouTube is eating itself.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Top Hats and Champagne. Today I want to talk about the skeptic community. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where that comes from. The skeptic community and the drama within. Let me start off by saying that the very notion of a skeptic community is just bonkers. What a silly word to form a community around.
What a completely trivial thing to start a discussion about. Why does it matter if people feel like they are part of a community or not? What are you even trying to accomplish by dismissing this? Let's pretend for a moment that you have successfully convinced everyone to no longer claim to be part of this skeptic community. Congratulations! You have achieved nothing.
Why do persons who by the definition of the Oxford Dictionary are inclined to question or doubt accepted opinions, why do they need some sort of special community? What kind of retarded tribalism is this? Hey, do you sometimes question accepted opinions? Yeah, man. And you? Yeah, I do too. Let's form a tribe.
Oh, so now members of a community are tribalistic even. Very interesting. I'm pretty sure you don't even know what tribalism is, which I will demonstrate to you later in this video.
But let's assume for a moment that this community is actually a thing.
What a great premise for a video, by the way. You are going to complain about something that isn't even a thing in your opinion. What a marvelous idea. Exquisite.
Who are the big names in this community? Sargon of Akkad perhaps, Sargon and his clique, who are right now huffing and puffing against Thunderfoot and his clique, who are in return huffing and puffing about something that Sargon seemingly said or did not say. Who the fuck cares?
Well, you care, obviously, because you include it in your own video. And I care as well, because I will also include it in my video. Why are you even pretending to not care about things that you put in your own videos?
They are people whose voices and opinions on their topics of interest were shared by a lot of people. This is why they have the success that they have, and who share a lot of opinions between themselves. But a lot of opinions they don't share, because, oh, what a bloody surprise. Color me the most surprised person on this planet right now. Color me surprised they are individuals and not some monolithic hive mind.
Who exactly are you even talking to right now? For some reason you feel that it is necessary to point out the most obvious things imaginable. Thank you! Everybody already knows that they are individuals with different opinions. Which is why your previous statement about them supposedly being a tribe doesn't even make sense. But I guess I don't even need to comment, because you have already provided the perfect reaction to your own pointless statement.
I'm so sorry. I'm not even kidding. Every time I think of the word skeptic these days, I get the urge to vomit. It is not even acted. Ugh.
Yeah, let's move on.
In an ideal world, these people who say that they are rationalists and open for discourse, in an ideal world they would be able to disagree with each other and just move on when their opinions clash.
How would that be an ideal world? You just said yourself that these people are open for discourse, but as soon as their opinions clash, as you call it, they should just agree to disagree and go their separate ways? How would we ever achieve anything with that kind of mindset? The point of open discourse is to come to the conclusion that is best for everyone involved. Stopping the discussion as soon as it gets uncomfortable would be meaningless. No issues would ever be resolved. We should constantly be working towards a point at which we have the smallest possible amount of suffering and the biggest possible amount of comfort at the same time. How are we ever supposed to even get close to that point if all discussions just end at the slightest disagreement?
But oh no! That would be far too easy, wouldn't it? Instead, how about we just let our egos do the fighting, eh? That sounds like a plan, right? Let's all put our most shiny moral grandstanding suit on and accuse the other side of being horrible human beings because of specific isolated instances, mostly on social media even. Not even in their videos, on fucking social media, on Twitter. Oh no, says Thunderfoot. Sargon made a foul joke about the victims of a murder. How reprehensible. I am leaving the Skeptic community. Whoa! You interpreted my stance incorrectly, says Sargon. Let me call you a liar and make an angry video about you. Whoa!
Do you realize that Thunderfoot has made multiple accusations in different videos towards Sargon of Akkad that have been proven to be objectively false? What was Sargon of Akkad supposed to do in your opinion? Just let it stand and agree to disagree? Why should anyone let a continuous stream of lies and misinformation go on uncontested? Have you even done the tiniest bit of research on this? Because Sargon of Akkad didn't in any way partake in the behavior you just described.
And then there's V versus Spinosaurus kin. That was actually quite hard for me as a German. V versus. Never mind. And there's Creationist Cat versus every single YouTuber who is labeled a skeptic right now. And then there's Armored Skeptic and Shoeonhead being on a success-fueled trip acting like the messiahs of reason. And so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah.
Remember when you described the skeptic community as tribalistic a few minutes ago? Remember when you described how members of this community harshly disagree with each other and even have completely different goals a few seconds ago? If you didn't notice, that's the opposite of tribalism. For some reason you seem to think that all members of a community agree with each other on everything, when in reality this isn't the case in any community. Take video game communities for example. Let's say you just joined a Mega Man 2 forum and you are starting a discussion with the community in this forum about your favorite stage in the game. You are going to say that the Metal Man stage is clearly the best one, because of these and those reasons. But then other people will join the discussion and say that the Bubble Man stage is clearly superior to the Metal Man stage, because of those and these reasons. You see how there is instant disagreement in that little community? It's the same thing with every other community. The term community is just there for convenience, to inform other people that you are interested in discussing similar topics.
You need to realize that having the same enemies doesn't necessarily make us all friends. And nobody expected us to be all friends.
You just described multiple instances of them not being friends and trying to achieve different things. So they obviously have already realized what you are saying long before you said it. Did you really not notice how your own argument completely falls apart in your own video?
You're all taking yourselves so seriously that one could forget that life has indeed more to offer than petty bickering over YouTube videos. Or tweets! Bloody hell!
Do you really think that the people you just described devote their entire lives to this petty bickering as you describe it? Having these arguments and discussions takes up a small amount of their time, and then they just get on with their lives.
Fanboys and fangirls are the ones who are enabling this behavior. YouTube fans rally behind their favorite creators fighting their online wars for them, for their superior YouTube overlords. At least that's how it seems like to me. Forming factions and throwing their own feces at members of opposing factions, opposing groups. You're just like an right-wing SJW, I hear them scream. You are nothing but degenerates, I hear them scream.
Why are you even mentioning the bad behavior of internet trolls? Those types of people will always exist and nobody will ever be able to change that. Just let them form ranks and fling their shit all day if they want to. The creators don't control those people, and they aren't responsible for their actions.
If I feel the need to respond to something, a friendly mocking video will do the trick. And then I'll just move on.
So you have just arbitrarily decided that your way of handling something like this is the correct way, and that their way is the incorrect way of handling it, without even trying to give any logical explanation for it. Well, I have bad news for you. Your way of handling it is actually the wrong way, and their way is the correct way. What? You want an explanation for this? I have to go now.
I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Fuck the Skeptic community, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, fuck that thing that isn't even a thing in your opinion, but has to be assumed to be a thing for the duration of one video to complain about. You showed it to those bastards.